We begin the women's floor final. This is Dildora Aripova of Uzbekistan, the 5th best in qualification. Really energetic and impressive way to begin this women's floor final, courtesy of the 21. Really hit his foot and ankle hard. 12.733. Dildora Aripova has improved from qualification. The score is a marginal gain of almost a tenth. Chon Jin-ah of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, 2nd best in qualifying with 12.9. Difficult routine, this. What a great performance from Chon Jin-ah of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Meanwhile, on floor, Chon Jin-ah up from qualification, 12.966. Not quite a full tenth better, but World Cup. Algeria's Cairio, bars champion, beam champion, 3rd best in qualification here. She is such a striking all-around performer, Cairio. Now this is interesting. 12.966 for Cairio Namor. Puts her into first place. And that was the best score that we saw in qualification. So the whole shape of the final now is a little different. Tegan Shaver of Canada, 8th best in qualification with a score of 11.7. What a great experience it must be for Tegan Shaver to be part of this very strong Canadian squad here with Rasul Abdurrahimov. 11.6. Both Cairio Namor and Sean Ginard, by the way, are on the same score in the women's floor final, but Namor with higher execution. Vita Prijanovic of Slovenia, 7th best in qualifying. Another gymnast whose confidence clearly is developing. Finally, the World Cup was in his favour. 11.533. Prijanovic very close to qualifying. Only a couple of tenths down. Now to the top qualifier in the women's floor competition. An Olympian. Goodness me, that was a great display from Jana Mahmood. Done it. Has she done it? 12.966 is the leading score at the moment. There's the answer. 13.033. There might well be an Egyptian gold medal. Jana Mahmood is in first place. We've also got an Egyptian in first place on the parallel bars. But that was so well executed, a floor routine. Now to Rose Wu, the fourth best in qualification. The Canadian takes to the floor. Goodness, did she land that last tumbling pass. Wonderful to have Rose Wu in fifth position, 12.466. And we are guaranteed an African champion in the women's floor competition as well, because we have an Egyptian leading, an Algerian in second place, and a Moroccan to perform. Selena Bouzmayo, bronze medalist at the African Championships last year. And that brings Selena Bouzmayo scoring 12. So she finishes in So let's have a look at the medalists to be. Chonjina, great moment for her after a tough start to her weekend. She didn't have the easiest time of things in the vault competition. She's really improved since then, and this is a great reward for her tenacious performances. And what about this? Cairio, 2 gold medals and a silver. It's been a brilliant competition for the Algerian. But there is no doubt about whom the headlines will be written when it comes to the floor final. Delight for Jana Mahmoud, the Olympian, the Egyptian gymnast, who has managed to produce what she did to take the continental title